When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. When the skies that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand now? Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me, stand by me.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They are the underpinnings of our service. Good morning, everyone. I'm Edie Crane, and I am gratefully filling in for Edith, who is enjoying a cruise. So let's send her some love. And welcome all of you on live streaming land. Mwah. We send our love to you through cyberspace. So let's settle in for our opening prayer. As we breathe together and we feel our feet on the ground, we feel the chair supporting us. We go into our heart and we feel the presence of love in this room, in this community. For we come together every week to be love, to be seen, to be heard, to fill our batteries that we can take it out into the world and be the love in the world. And every Sunday we come together and create this service of celebration of our spiritual nature, of our magnificence, of our divine love. And this day, we set the intention to remember every minute of every day that we are the love. We share it, we radiate it, and it is so. And so it is. Amen. And so welcome welcome to this cyberspace, to this sacred sanctuary. If you are new to our community, we have some wonderful ushers who will give you a little packet. And those of you who are on cyberspace and just checking us out for the first time, we have an amazing website with all the information that you might need. And so check us out. And so welcome. This is the perfect time to turn off your cell phones. But keep them handy because you're going to need them during the talk. Yes. And let us do our abundance core value. We have amazing core values here in this community. And every week we highlight one of them. And so our core value today is abundance. Let's affirm this with gusto together. We recognize and claim life's infinite flow. We give thanks for ever-expansive prosperity. And so it is. Let's get a yes. Absolutely. And now we get to sing. Warm up those pipes, guys.
Good morning, everyone. Try not to fall off the chair here. Please join us in a song that you may or may not have heard of or about. It's from the Reverend Ricky Byers Beckwith, and it's really easy to follow if you haven't heard it. It's all good, all God, holy, holy.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, lets me know all is good, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, lets me know all is love, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is one, holy, holy. All God, holy, holy. All God, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is God, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, let me know all is good, holy, holy. One more time. All good, holy, holy.
Good morning. I'm Carol Plummer, and I'm a licensed Unity teacher, and I'm here to share with you today's transformational opportunities. First up, Edie is going to talk about the Women's Retreat.
So, guys, picture this beautiful starry night in the woods, and we're sitting around the campfire, and we're singing amazing songs together. And then we go in and have little snacks and talk and hang out. Okay, can you picture that? And then the next day, we're hanging out with each other and somebody's teaching us movement, or Carol's teaching us energy work. And then we go have an amazing lunch together. And we're talking and we're eating and we're sharing. And then that night, we go out and have a raucous dance party. And we're dancing and we're laughing and we're sharing. Okay, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? And then Sunday morning, we go and we have our Sunday service by the fire. Oh, and it's just so fun. And we're sharing stuff and we're singing, and it's just amazing. And then we go have a wonderful lunch, and we're all huggy and saying goodbye, and we've had an amazing weekend together. So if you can see yourself there, think about signing up for this amazing retreat. We always have a blast. Going away with a weekend with your girlfriends, okay? Think about that. So the deadline to sign up is Friday, March 10th. We have 5 slots left. That's it. So think about signing up. If you need more info, you can email me or ask any women who've been on the retreat before. Who here has been on the retreat before? Yeah, so ask anybody here who's been on the retreat, and they will talk it up. So anyway, think about that, and it'll be fun.
That you can walk during your quiet time. So it's really a nice experience. Yes. Sorry, John. Okay. So the next Unity classes are starting March the 6th. We have Reverend Kelly Isola, who will be leading the Jesus Teachings classes, and the classes are from 6:30 to 9 in the evening. And then Reverend Paul Hasselback is going to be doing Metaphysics 3. And it starts on March the 8th, also from 6:30 to 9. And there are only 4 classes. It's 4 classes for $80. So see the newsletter or website to sign up. They are both excellent teachers, and you'll have a great learning experience with taking either of the classes. Or if you're really adventuresome, you can take both. All right, there's going to be a new member class on Sunday, March the 12th from 1 to 3 p.m. for anyone interested in becoming a voting member or wanting to become more involved and deepening your relationship with the community. The class is going to be available both in person and online. Register, see the newsletter, or go to the website. And now, are you guys ready? On Friday, March 24th, we're going to have a jazzy evening. Our band is going to put on a concert for us. It's a fundraising concert. It starts at 7 p.m. here in the sanctuary. They're going to be playing jazz and pop standards with a jazzy twist. So tickets are only $20 if you're older than 15. And $10 for ages 5 to 14, and children under 5 are free. So see the newsletter or the website for information and to purchase tickets. I know it's going to be a great evening. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So now we just wanted to reiterate that our foundation is prayer. Prayer chaplains are trained to pray in confidence with you after the service, and they do the prayer calls, which you get that are available once a month. There's a box in the back of the sanctuary where you can put your prayer request in, or put somebody in that you would like to have the prayer team pray for that person. You can also email the office for more information on our prayer activities. And talking about prayer chaplains, after the service, I will be available for a confidential prayer if you are interested. Now let's settle in for our daily word. The topic today is let go, let God. The affirmation is, I bravely release outworn behaviors and embrace my bright, brilliant future. Holding on to what no longer serves me because it is familiar and I've grown accustomed to it may stall my growth. I evolve much more quickly when I trust my guidance and release old patterns and behaviors. In my heart, I know that when I move away from a dysfunctional relationship, a negative attitude, or unhealthy way of living, I move toward something greater: peace, safety, harmony, freedom, and fulfillment. I let go of anxiety or fear and open myself to happiness and security. I breathe in freedom. My heart becomes buoyant and my steps lighter. I set my intention today to release anything I have been fearful of letting go, so that I can confidently move forward, open to infinite good. From Matthew chapter 18, verse 18, truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatsoever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven.
This is our time to go within. And so as once again we breathe together, with the breath as our gift from Spirit to remind us that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And as we breathe together, we create harmony, we create peace. So in this moment, as we release anything that's trying to grab our attention, we let go. We let go and we let God. We let go and we let our divine nature come to the front. Peace is our birthright. Divine love is our true nature. And as we relax into this moment, we go within and we know that secret place of the Most High, that secret place of our oneness. We know our oneness with all that is. And as we put our hands over our heart space to remind us that this energy of love, this intention of love, this intention of being harmony, of being peace, is anchored here in our heart. And we allow it to bloom and blossom as we breathe into this space. We breathe out the intention to be love, to be peace, to be harmony, to be compassion, to be kindness and wisdom. That is our true nature. And now each breath can remind us that. Every breath can remind us. If anything incongruent with that comes into our mind or our energy, we allow that to remind us to breathe and remember. Remember our compassion, our love, our wisdom, our peace, and our harmony. And we observe, when we observe something in our outer world that shakes this harmony, that disturbs the field, we allow our breath to bring us back to center. And we remember our power to send love, to radiate love to wherever it is needed on this planet. We remember that we are powerful beings of light. And we can send our light, we can radiate our light wherever we are. And we take this knowing, this deep, deep knowing, into the silence. And as we return to this present moment, let us, in our mind's eye, see ourselves standing in a great circle. As we fill this room with our love, and we have this amazing circle of love that we have created. And in the middle of this circle of love, we place all of the people and the situations that are calling for love in this day and this time. And I invite you to speak them into this circle of love. Sally, Turkey, Syria, our planet Earth, our beloved community, all our fellow humans. And as we radiate this love, we hold absolute knowing in every fiber of our being that peace is there, compassion is there, wholeness is there, wisdom is there, and we call it forth. For we are the embodiment of love. And so it is. Amen.
And while we're still in this space, I'd also like you to keep in mind our beloved musician and pianist, John Paul, who is ill today and couldn't be with us. So please keep him in your prayers.
One, two, 3, 4.
I am possibility. I am possibility. Infinite possibility. I am possibility. I am possibility. Infinite possibility. There's no limit to what can be. Every dream is reality. 'Cause I am possibility. I am possibility. Infinite possibility. There's no limit to what can be. Every dream is reality. I am possibility. You are possibility. Infinite possibility. I am possibility. We are possibility. Infinite possibility. There's too limit to what we can be. 'Cause every dream is reality. 'Cause I am a possibility. We are possibility. Infinite possibility. There's no limit to what we can be. 'Cause every dream is reality. 'Cause I am possibility. We are possibility. Infinite. Infinite. Infinite.
So that was perfect as usual. Thank you so much. We are infinite. Are we not? Yes, we are infinite. In honor of Lent, I'm going to share the Zen story. There were 2 monks traveling along, and they came to a big wide creek, and there was a woman there with lots of stuff. And the water was pretty rapid, and she didn't know how she was going to get across. And so there was the old monk and the young monk, and without hesitation, the old monk picks up the woman and all her stuff and carries her across the creek. Puts her down, and the 2 monks go on their way. About 10 minutes into their walk, the young monk goes, How could you have done that? And the old monk goes, what? How could you have carried that woman? How could you have touched that woman? We took a vow of that we would never interact with women. And the monk's like, I don't know about you, but I set that woman down at the end of the creek. You're still carrying her. We got to let stuff go. Lent is this perfect time. We got to just let stuff go. Let stuff go. Like our daily word, let go and let God. Let go and let the universe. I know for myself, I've been having to practice that a lot with all the things that have been swirling around in my life. And in honor of our title about curiosity, I found this quote from Matthew, chapter 19. Then some children were brought to him that he might lay his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. But Jesus said, "Let the children alone, and do not hinder them from coming to me, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." So often we forget to be like little children and just be in the moment and let our curiosity guide us. Be curious. So curiosity, this talk was born out of curiosity that popped up in my own mind. In December, when Rev Edith asked various ones of us to fill in this time, I was like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And then it occurred to me that I was becoming very curious about what was going on in my own life. I had come down with one of the various viruses that are floating around, and I got pretty sick. And after about 2 days of just being in bed and being miserable, I started to go, well, wait a minute. Myrtle came to mind. She's one of my heroes, Myrtle Fillmore. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? I'm filling myself with vitamin C and, resting a lot. But I started to think about this. What was going on? How come Myrtle wasn't my first instinct? Why was I just kind of going, oh, I'm just miserable, But then I kind of began to feel better, and so I remembered Myrtle, and I started just bathing my body in love, just loving my lungs and loving my head and just really appreciating my body. And two things occurred. One, I started to feel better, but I also began to get some intuitions about things I should do in the outer world, a guidance. Okay, you need to take this herb, or maybe you need to take this medication so that you can function during the day. I began to just really tune into that. But it was, I began to be curious. Why wasn't that my first instinct? What's going on? And so I said, curiosity enlightened the cat, because curiosity is a good thing. The old adage of curiosity killed the cat, that's just, in my opinion, that's just wrong. Curiosity is one of our greatest strengths as human beings. That's how we get cool stuff, is because somebody was curious. And so I began to get curious about my own, what was going on, my own inner workings. And I thought about, Myrtle healed herself because part of it, her faith was very, very strong. But she was also curious. What would happen if? What if? And so she gave us a blueprint, because it takes curiosity, courage, strength, and perseverance to recover our sense of self-empowerment, that we can do this. But we got to be curious about what might be getting in the way. Well, how come that wasn't my first instinct? And, there's layers of stuff that we occur throughout our lives. We accumulate sort of this debris, from our lives and the limiting consciousness of the planet in general. And we kind of tune into that, and that sort of, I don't know, it's kind of like a window. When the window gets all crudted up, because you haven't cleaned it in a long time. That's kind of the analogy that I would give for our consciousness. We get cluttered up with the limited views that we were brought up with. And so we have to really make, in my opinion, curiosity a spiritual practice. Like, well, who says? To question those limiting ideas and beliefs that hinder us. And so for me, I had to consciously reclaim that. And I had a similar experience. Kevin and I went on vacation last month. Was it last month? Yeah, last month. And I got one of those, tourist intestinal bugs. And again, it came quicker, but it still didn't come right away, And then I was like, okay, come on, Edie. And sure enough, as I sat there with it, I got this aha. And I went to my English-French dictionary because there was a medicine that I knew that I needed. And I was like, oh, you just have to take this and you'll be fine. And then I went and I looked up the medicine name, went to the pharmacy, boom, 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 fixed me right up. But I had to, again, I had to kind of come to, instead of going, oh, this is so terrible, right? Which sometimes we do. I had to go, well, wait a minute, come on. You got these spiritual tools. You gotta use them. And Myrtle has this great little booklet called How I Found Health. And it's about what she did. It's like her blueprint. This is what I did when I healed myself, okay? So I wanted to read you a little bit about that. I'll read you just a couple little paragraphs. She says, I affirmed my beliefs and I was healed. I did most of the healing myself, she said, most, because I wanted the understanding for future use. And this is how I made what I call my discovery. But again, she had to be curious about what she could do. I was thinking about life. Life is everywhere, in animals and in people. Then why doesn't life in the animal make a body like a human? I asked. Then I thought, the animal has not as much sense as a human. Ah, she says, intelligence as well as life is needed to make a body. Here is the key to my discovery. Life has to be guided by intelligence in making all forms. The same law works in my own body. Life is a simple form of energy, and it has to be guided and directed in a person's body by his or her intelligence. How do we communicate intelligence? By thinking and talking, of course. Then it flashed upon me that I might talk to the life in every part of my body and have it do just what I wanted. I began to teach my body and got marvelous results. So again, she was like, well, what if? And then she got the guidance, that incredible divine guidance that we all have. We all have that power. So anyway, I invite you to check out this little booklet, because come back to your curiosity. Curiosity is one of our greatest strengths, says Brene Brown. She's got some great quotes. And so on my journey of curiosity, this curiosity began to fuel some more questions in my mind about the workings of my consciousness. And at one point I was reading a news article, and I noticed my gut reaction. I don't know why I hadn't noticed it before. I guess because I was now tuned in, like I was becoming more aware. And I'm reading this, and I noticed this in my body. And I thought it was normal, but I'm like, no, that's not normal. When we get news and we read an article, we have been trained, I think, to sort of put that information in a box or put that person in a box. So I'm reading this article, I'm like, oh, it's one of them. Or, look at that, I'm not that. Or, how could that person believe that? Or, Or how could that person say that? And you automatically sort of create your own little box about me and them. And I noticed that. Like, when I began to question that. Like, well, where'd that come from? Who says? Who says? And I asked myself, what's really going on in here? Is it possible to view this from a neutral perspective? And I still live in that question because I'm not sure what neutral means. I'm still working through this. What does neutral mean? But I'm just in that place of questioning. Well, who says? Why does it have to be either or? But again, I notice that we're being trained, and we have been trained to think in this small little box of us, them, either or. And I'm getting curiouser and curiouser about that. Like, what's outside of that? What if there's something completely outside of the realm of that we haven't even thought of yet? And so I've been thinking about that. And then I dug deeper, and I discovered that on one level, my response came from a sense of, I'm right, and that person's wrong. And that's just the way it is. Right, wrong. And as I reflected further, I realized how much my early life was impacted by that what I was, we're trained from an early age. This is right, this is wrong, this is okay, this is not okay. And most of the time it's okay. You don't want, little kids going around putting their hands on hot stoves and things like that. You got to know. There's stuff you got to, but it just, in terms of interpersonal relationships and things like that, we're like here, there, either or. And I wondered if it was possible to view the news article from a neutral position. Like, what if I was an alien, an extraterrestrial? And I'm reading this article. Look at these silly humans. They're so silly. Oh my gosh. It's probably like, they probably look at us like middle schoolers or teenagers. Like, oh, really? Really? You guys haven't figured this out yet? Really? And I don't know if I can get there, but I'm just living in that question, that curiosity of, is there something, can we get to a place of oneness, which is our goal here in Unity? Can we get to that place where we can view someone with whom we have really different views and love them? Can we do that? Can we love them? I have a couple family members who have radically different views than my own. And most of the time I'm okay because we've kind of come to a truce of, we don't talk about that. We just don't, Because what I realize is that I'm in my own rigid place because I'm right, and they're in their own rigid place because they're right. And so it's the onus is on me, I think, to keep being curious about what can I do? What could I say? How could I be with that energy? And the question that the thing that came was in my prayer time, I can send them love. Like, when we're in our meditation and we're beaming love, I can beam love to them. And so as we're talking, when I look at a news article and I'm like, oh, I can use that visceral response as information, as a cue. Okay, you got to stop and breathe into it and send it love. Send that situation love, send that person love. Loving somebody doesn't mean you agree with them. Loving somebody doesn't mean you are enabling them. It just, you're in your power as an infinite being of love, as we are the embodiment of love. That's one of our greatest powers that we have, is that we can transcend that limited worldview that we've been brought up. And we can pause and we can breathe and we can create this space where I'm just being to being and I can beam them love. And that's all. And maybe they take it and maybe they don't. But it's not my job to worry about that. I'm offering it. I'm creating a possibility that something could be different. Does that make sense? And so allow yourselves to be curious about your own responses. Well, is it true? What might else be going on? And is there something else I could think about? So I think right now I'm mostly in the noticing stage where I'm using my curiosity to help me notice. And then I have added the layer of I'm going to use my breath to bring me back to, oh yeah, I might be right, they might be right, but let me just send love. Because in that moment, when I decide to stop trying to be right, I create a possibility. I'm out here in this wonderful field of infinite possibilities. I create a possibility for other people to consider that there might be another way to see something. There might be another perspective. So if I'm over here and I see this amazing thing, I'm like, what a beautiful tree, right? And then I get closer, I'm like, oh, it's artificial. Because I'm so close. But when I get back, I'm like, well, that's just a nice thing to look at, right? And I know that's a really simplified version of perspective changing, but be curious. Is there another way to see this person? Is there another way to see this situation without judgment? And if we want to take it a step further, how could I gift this situation? Is there a way for me to positively impact the situation? And it might be a download of, oh, I really want to go and do this. I want to go and help XYZ or volunteer XYZ. Or I might get a download, maybe I could write a letter or something. We will get again, if we're curious and we're open and we're willing, then that's when we create the possibility of a whole new way of looking at it. Does that make sense? Outside of judgment. Because I realize that's what happens to me as I get in that judgment place. This, that, And so I have a couple quotes. Pema Chodron says, let your curiosity be greater than your fear. And the Buddha says, as rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgments, but rain your kindness equally on all. Okay? And a spiritual practice, a mindfulness practice came to mind from one of our founding ministers, Alan Quay. I will never forget this. It's a very simple practice. As you go about your day, learn to check in with yourself about how you're interacting with information, other people, and situations. Just notice what you notice. Pause. What's your immediate reaction? What do you feel in your body? Our bodies are amazing at letting us know when something's not right. And when that icky feeling comes up, when you notice you're being judgmental, say, just in your mind, say, oh, judging. That's what's going on. You're judging. And that allows you to choose something different. When you get out of the automatic responses, then that opens up your freedom of choice. It opens up your consciousness so you can think about a different possibility and get curious. What if I could see this differently? What if I could think about this differently? What's something I could do to not be judging? Anyway, the questions, just allow the questions to come. Live in that question. Allow the questions to come. And so we're going to try a simple exercise. This is where you need your cell phone, if you have one. And put it on, open your camera app, and put it on selfie. You know where this is going. Put it on selfie. And hold it up to your face. What's your, okay. Just look. Just look. Just look. Just there, just look. Okay. Just pause for a sec. What did you notice? What did you notice? Yell it out and I'll speak it. Anybody want to share something they noticed? Life. You noticed life. Okay. What else did you notice about, how did your body like that? Did your body like looking at you? Oh, okay, no. Okay. Anybody else have a response? Like, again, that visceral response. Okay. Okay. Your mom's looking back at you? You look okay? Okay. Look like your mother. Anybody online anybody in the chat have anything going on? Anybody want to respond from the online? Anybody? It's okay if you don't. But okay, so again, this is an exercise in noticing what did your body do? What did your body do when you did this? So now, do it again. Look at it again. Look at yourself again. And choose differently. Breathe. Breathe. Look at yourself and choose differently. Choose love. Choose infinite possibility. Whatever you choose, what are you going to, can you make that switch? Can you look at that face and love it? Love that face. Okay. Any other comments about this piece of the exercise? Okay, so this is something simple. This is just a simple tool that you can use to check in with yourself. How am I doing with my automatic reactions? Look at yourself in your cell phone. Hi. Can you get to that place? Can you get to that place where, oh, you are magnificent? And it might be that it takes a while to get there, because again, we're not trained to do that. But we are. Do you believe that you're an infinitely powerful, infinitely loving, infinitely wise, magnificent being? Yes. Okay. We had a yes. Sorry, online guys. We had a yes. Practice that. Just practice loving yourself, and then start there. And then you can, once you get there, then you can practice with somebody with whom you might hold some judgment. Does that make sense? Because that frees up our intelligence. We're infinitely intelligent. And when we can step outside of the judgment, that frees us up for an elegant solution to whatever is facing us. Does that make sense? Do you kind of get that? Okay. So I'm going to wrap up my talk with someone who is just a champion of curiosity, and one of the people that I admire a lot. So in honor of Black History, I wanted to present a little movie about one of my favorite science educators, and that's Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is he's so dedicated to making sure people understand the world, and that he's passionate about science, but the thing he's most passionate about is curiosity, because that's where things get changed. Science, good science comes from curiosity. And he's an incredible, powerful force for good in the world. And so somebody put together an incredible sort of montage of his talks and made a really pretty movie out of it. And so I'm gonna finish with that, and then we'll do our affirmation.
You know, people look up at night.
Can we put the lights down a little?
Many people feel small. That's understandable because, in fact, you are small. We are small. We're small. You thought Felix Baumgartner's jump was high up. It's not, okay? So not only was that not big, we're not big. All right, we're not big not only in space, but in time and size. There's very little that would otherwise distinguish us, except for our capacity to wonder, to be curious. It may be that our cosmic curiosity, for which I used to think I was biased. Yeah, I'm cosmically curious, but why should I think others are as well? You are. I'm not biased. I know you are. If there's a light in the sky moving, you're going to stop and take a look at it. The universe intrigues us all. There may be some genetically encoded force that we bring forward when we look up at night and wonder, where did we come from? Where are we now? Where are we headed in the future? And the cosmic perspective is one where all of Earth is one. Because though this be 20 inches across, with political boundaries identified, when actually viewed from space, it's just ocean, land, and atmosphere. From space, we are not compelled to divide ourselves because we occupy this lone, frail spaceship Earth. And when you are not compelled to divide yourself, there's the urge to say, we're in this together. We're in this so much together that, you think of family, and you say, that's my family, but you're not in my family. Excuse me. The boundary between what is in family and what is not is completely culturally determined. It's cultural. Because any two of us in this room, if you go far enough back the tree of life, have a common ancestor. You can keep going back and find the common ancestor with the rest of the apes, with dogs, with an oak tree. We have DNA in common. And there's so many people who want to say we are special because we're different. But I have a different, I say we are special because we are the same. We are part of this world where we have DNA in common with yeast, with oak trees, with these insects that scurry under bush. This is the commonality of life on Earth. And then you learn about molecules and atoms. We have the same atoms that are in stars. So now you look up, we are common with the universe as well. So for me, the cosmic perspective, which I know if people had, you would never be leading armies into battle. Do you know how ridiculous it looks to the person with the cosmic perspective that one general says to the other, I'm going to conquer that land across this line. You're going to do what? What? On this speck you call Earth? You're going to you want to kill people for what? The cosmic perspective reorders what is important in this world. And it does it in, I think, the noblest of ways, by recognizing not what makes us all different, but what makes us all common. Together, alone, with the fate of our planet and our civilization in our hands. No, that is the cosmic perspective. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
He's amazing, isn't he? I think he's amazing. So it is time to affirm together. I fearlessly throw open wide the windows of my perception and engage my gifts of wonder and curiosity. There is so much more to be discovered about myself, my fellow humans, and the world. And so it is.
One, two, three.
When you hear a voice no one else can hear, yet it's ringing clear and loud and in your ear, and you finally know what it's time to do, that's your true calling, calling you, that's your true calling, calling you. When your heart's wide open, 'cause your mind's been changed, and the dreams you dream are not the same. There's a gate that's open, you can walk right through. That's your true calling, calling you. That's your true calling, calling you. You ask yourself, is this a voice I can trust? You think you can't, but you know that you must. When your heart's wide open, you're afraid you'll fail, but there's only one way you'll ever know. Those wings you keep folded are meant to be used when your true calling is calling you. When your true calling is calling you. You ask yourself, is this a voice I can trust? You think you can, but you know that you must. When your heart's wide open, 'cause your mind's been changed, and the dreams you dream are not the same. There's a gate that's open, you can walk right through. That's your true calling, calling you. That's your true calling, calling you. You ask yourself, is this a voice I can trust? You think you can, but you know that you must. Just trust. There's a gate that's open, you can walk right through. That's your true calling, calling you. That's your true calling, calling you. That's your true calling, calling you. That's your true calling, calling you.
All right, it's now time for our tithes and offering. This is an opportunity to actually express our ever-expansive prosperity. So I think you know the drill. We have a box in the back to put your offering in. There's envelopes on the back of the chairs. You can also text GIVE to the number up here, or there's lots of places on the website where you can hit the donate button and give money to support this community. So let's do our blessing, our love offering blessing. Join me. Divine love, I am, blesses and multiply all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am so grateful. And so,
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, everybody. We are few. Yes, we're few, but we had fun today in Sunday school. What did we learn? Let me start with you. What did we learn?
Let go and let God was our main word for today.
What else did we talk about?
We also talked about Black History Month, which was, at first, it was Negro History Week in 1926, but later it was expanded to Black History Month in 1976 under Gerald Ford. He made it like the whole month. And so it celebrates like, it was meant to celebrate like Black figures like Martin Luther, Frederick Douglass, Rosa Parks, and a bunch of others. Mae Jameson, yeah.
Maya Angelou, exactly.
So, yep.
They were paying attention. It's so exciting. Thank you, guys. Isn't that exciting? You guys?
Yes?
Go ahead.
I am the light of the world. I live as the light. I am the light of the world. I live as the light.
You are the light of the world. You live as a light. And all together, we are the light of the world. We live as a light.
Two, three, 1, 2, 3.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment
have an amazing week filled with curiosity and wonder and, of course, divine love. Go spread your joy. And so it is.
Jump on my cars and rolls, here I go, swinging low. Bye, bye, blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet and so is he. Bye, bye.